So what are your rain predictions for tomorrow?
100%. Ready, just wrapped, and how are you feeling about tomorrow?
Inspired.
No, excited to have another hit out and just sort of see what's possible really. Have some fun. Great. How are you preparing to race in kind of very British conditions?
Well, I feel like we have the advantage, but I don't want to be complacent because it is going to be cold, and even I don't think UK has prepared us for this.
So I'm going to do marigolds for the hands, and then I'm going to stuff, which I've never done before, both. Never like a new race day to do it. So midnight stuff my front to try and sort of keep my chest a bit more sealed. I don't want to overheat the swim, not that good. And then pray and just ride harder.
So, how are you feeling about tomorrow?
Good, cold, excited to race with Eloise again. I mean, third pro race, third race in the rain, so I think I'm going to go back to amateur racing. But the weather's kind of nice now. It's meant to be raining, but it's sunny, but a little bit windy, so tomorrow maybe might not be so bad, but it's going to be pretty grim.
What are your pre-race superstitions, I suppose, if any?
None. I definitely just want to have pudding tonight.
So, welcome back to my channel. Again, been a while, no excuses this time, absolutely no excuses. So let's just get cracking on with it. So today we're going to talk about my last race, Ironman 70.3 Dresden. Pretty much all I can say, I was wet and cold, but I'll dive in a tiny bit deeper. Essentially, I was never going to race this race, it was never on my calendar. But Zell, well, that went awfully. Amazingly, I had a quite good swim, but I was breathing out of my arse for the pace I was going. So maybe that was just a bit of a red flag from the start, but then got on the bike and had nothing. Like pushing normal race power and holding on to the end of the pace line I was on was just painful. It shouldn't have been. And then the climb, I had a plan to ride at a certain wattage, which I had like 235 to 240. I don't think I even did 180. Maybe I did 190. But honestly, dying. It was just a bit of a shocker. So I called it a day at 60k, licked my wounds. I still don't know what it was. I could have been a bit ill. I had a great training block into it. I was flying on the Monday and Tuesday before, and then I was flying again when I went to Switzerland, Wednesday to Friday afterwards. So I just essentially peaked at the wrong time, whatever it was. And I said no excuses for it. It just happened, and I don't take DNF lightly, but it wasn't a day to flog myself. Especially as it was cold and wet. Not as cold as wet at Dresden, so I should have probably known. But Laura and James, we met at Zell, they convinced me to come to Dresden with them, which was a great idea. So we went. And essentially, all I can talk about is the weather, really. And they shortened the swim. It was only 750 metres because it was 16 degrees and outside temperature was, I think, feels like 6, possibly 8. Cold, essentially cold. Even in a wetsuit, we were cold standing in the start line in those those fold blankets. So it was a land warm up. Me, Nikki, and Laura got in literally with 2 minutes to go. Trying to be sensible, not too cold. And then we're off. I had a shock of a start. This is a picture that I'm just way back. Awful, nothing started. But then once I got into rhythm, it took me about 200 meters to sort of just stop swimming. Really, I actually felt like I was swimming better. Then at the turnaround point, I got shoved under this buoy. I'd gone in front, came out 5 meters off. It ended up being Nikki, I wasn't sure who it was. So then I swam back to her and then ended up just swimming back in on her feet which was quite nice too. Thanks, Nikki. Yeah, so got out in 4th or 5th, I think 5th maybe, yeah, 5th. Then got on the bike again, marigolds on. I also had a bin liner under me because it was so cold. Great tip by again, Laura and James nailed it. And then I put a gilet on as well because again, I cannot tell you how cold it was. I've never raced in these conditions before. Yeah, it was just cold. So yes, we cracked on. Bike was okay, to be honest. I ended up like cycling on my own the whole day. Well, Nikki came past me in about 7k, maybe 6k, and I tried to go with her for a few k, and I just didn't have it on the ups. It was a really rolling course. I just didn't have on the ups, and I thought today's not the day to do anything stupid. And everything was cold. My legs were cold. I think I've said cold like 10 times. It was cold. And I was like, I'm just going to ride my own race today. It's like windy. It's nuts. So I sort of decided that I was going to ride my own race. I did so. It was actually really hard to look at power because of the crosswinds, like these gusts that happened. You just had to concentrate so hard on everything around you that I didn't look down that much. But when I could, I could get it back up to where I wanted to be. And it felt good. Said apart from couldn't feel my legs. Hands were super warm thanks to the marigolds. Again, James Mitchell, I owe you apology for poo-pooing the marigolds. They worked, and I will wear them again. Also with bin bag, which is again James and Laura. Worked. And then came in off the bike, cold, really cold. And then the run, just ran really, bit disappointed, very disappointed. Actually not disappointed, I'd say, because I gave everything I had. So I can't really be disappointed, but I'm so frustrated with my run. I just can't run how I know I can run, and you can't say that until you do it better on race day, and I know that, and you've got to stand by the times that you run on race day, because that's when it counts. But essentially, run training's been going the best it's ever been. I'm a faster runner than I did a 1:32 on Sunday. I'm a faster runner than that, and it frustrates me. Well, I could run a 17-minute 5k, but I could trot a half marathon, and it's frustrating. And this is the best block of running I've ever had. I've literally ever had. I've been consistent for 9 months. For me, that's massive. Especially after my big hip injuries, and taking so much time off. And maybe it's that. Maybe it's I just need some more time. But again, gave everything I had. I think I ran exactly even splits. I think literally to the second even splits. So positive, I guess. But yeah, it's frustrating. I'm losing at least 5 to 8 minutes on the run. It's disappointing. And again, I got overtaken with 3k to go. I achieved what I came to do, which was finish a race, put some sort of performance together, ride the bike better. I feel like I rode the bike better, even though the power doesn't necessarily say that, but it was fast enough. Again, swam okay. So all round, wasn't the main aim for the year. The main aim still is Worlds, which is the main aim to go there and get my best performance for the year. I can't want a result. I've got to be really realistic, but also I'm excited for it. I feel like we're moving in the right direction, and maybe I finally crack the run at Worlds. That'd be great. We're doing a very specific run block into Worlds, mainly off bikes and stuff, running off bikes. Because again, I can run the pace. I don't find it scary, the pace that I need to run, but I still got to do it on race day. So you got to put your money where your mouth is. So that is the aim. That's all I really have to say about this race. Just about warmed up, and it's warm in the UK, so it's good to be back home, I guess. But anyway, on that note, I'm going to round it up, and I will be doing another video next week. I'm going to do weekly videos into Worlds, actually am, so again, got to put my money where my mouth is. Like my running, just level up, and let's do it. Again, thanks so much for all the support, really appreciate it, and if you have any questions, just whack it in the comments, I'll be sure to reply. If you like what you see, big thumbs up, always helps. And if you want to see more, those videos into Worlds, which are going to be specific, promise you, then hit the subscribe button and maybe the bell so you get a notification. Other than that, let's bring it on, and hey ho.